So last chapter, a lot of people were going back and forth as to who was the stronger devil faction, the Four Horsemen or the Primal Fears. And I think it's pretty clear that despite Yoru having all the confidence in the world to take on the aging devil, it's pretty clear with how easily she was trapped in the aging world, she might be biting off a little bit more than she can chew. And I think it becomes even more abundantly clear how powerless Yoru and Asa are while inside of this Primal Fear pocket dimension, with the fact that not only are all of their devil powers useless, if the devil powers were able to be used, Yoru would much more likely be willing to take her own life than be dealing with any of this nonsense. Showing not only how desperate Yoru is, but actually legitimately how screwed they might be. Because if reincarnating in hell and starting everything from scratch all over again is a better option than staying here, I mean, what more do you need me to say? As from the previous chapter, we learned not only is the aging world inescapable with no exit or any kind of plan or way to escape it, it is literally a world where not only does time not flow, but people inside of it are not able to get hungry, they're not able to get thirsty, even to the point that if they try to take their own lives, it will not work. Once you are stuck in here, this is your life for thousands, if not even longer amounts of years. We even learned that this chapter, people that have been here for thousands of years end up just literally becoming trees. Their bodies just becoming old, decrepit, and literally not moving or just becoming one with nature itself and losing all bodily functions. They're only able to moan, feel pain, which is unfortunate, and just, not be able to move at all until hopefully, from what the one crazy guy says, is that after becoming a tree, give it a couple more thousands of years and eventually your personality, your mental capacity, and everything about you will become one with the tree. It will become one with the grass, one with the water, one with the ecosystem of the aging world. And in that moment, when your personality and your mind slips away, you will reincarnate, supposedly, into the real world and be able to escape the aging, which I honestly am going to full on call cap. Ain't no way that a world as bleak as Chainsaw Man is gonna have this terrible nightmare fuel prison of an aging world, and you can just live through all of the mental anguish and terror and then just get to live your normal life afterwards. Absolutely not. There is no afterlife. You either end up in hell in the Chainsaw Man world after this aging world, or it's just pitch black for the rest of your life and you're just in a different prison of a different making. So whether you sit down and accept your fate in this aging world or fight it with everything that you possibly can, it all just seems utterly hopeless, and it makes sense why everyone in their mother just goes crazy in this world. There is never a light at the end of the tunnel. And the one thing that is interesting about the aging world that we also learned last chapter is that there has only been one known person to ever actually escape the aging world. And it's not through this dumb tree method that these motherfuckers are coping with. Now, a lot of people since the chapter came out have been theorizing night and day about who this devil hunter that escaped the aging world might be. And there's been two pretty decent theories that I'd be more than happy to discuss. One is Kishibe, Kishibe is the GOAT. Would never put that past him, especially when you look at him from before, how badass he looks. However, I don't think it's Kishibe as much as I would love to see him come back into the story and help Denji wherever he is. I hope he's doing well. I wish him the best. But I think the person that makes the most sense would be the devil hunter we know as Yoshida, who right now is like legitimately MIA entirely after the octopus devil got eaten. This man has been nothing but suspicious since he was introduced back in part 1, and he's only gotten even more suspect in part 2. Not only is it hard to trust that Yoshida has always been working in public safety's best interest, not that public safety's best interests are like good things to follow or anything like that, but it seems like he has always acted in a way that he's either one, calling the shots and is in a very high position in public safety now, or two, he has his own goals and simply acts on those while pretending to be a double agent for public safety. And he's just mysterious enough to make that whole aging world escape theory make sense. I mean, look at this man. He's beautiful. Doesn't age a day. After fighting Asa way back at her apartment, the event that literally started this big chain reaction and this big climax moment in part 2, as I can't tell if this aging world is going to start slowing down the pace again or not, because we really have been going balls to the wall for the last couple of chapters with this big fight scene. But after fighting Asa in the apartment, Yoshida just poofed away. He disappeared and didn't show back up again until Black Chainsaw or Pochita showed up, and then Yoshida made an assault against Chainsaw Man with the Octopus Devil. Now, obviously, we know that the Octopus Devil did not last long. That one reduces the arsenal that Yoshida has of devils. Who knows if he has any more contracted with. But two, this man has poofed again. MIA, we don't know where he is. So this is the second time mid-fight Yoshida has just disappeared from the story. Now, is it possible that Fujimoto just had him die with the Octopus Devil? Chainsaw Man killed him, ate him, who knows? Definitely reasonable. However, a character like Yoshida, not that he's super important, but I would like him to at least die on screen if that's the case, which is why I'm putting more money on the fact that he's pulling some more shady stuff like he did back at Asa's apartment. But regardless of who that secret man is, whether they're going to be able to help us or we'll find out who that person is ever at all, it's just a red herring or something like that, the one thing that is definitely clear is that it is basically impossible for Asa, Yoru, or Denji to escape this hellhole that they're in. And obviously the idea of being trapped in here forever is a little bit mentally debilitating because Asa seems to be quickly losing her mind and descending into insanity. Not that it's unjustified. I mean, thinking about the idea of being stuck here for thousands of years until you become a tree or just who knows what else is definitely absolutely terrifying. And she just starts coping because she believes that this might be the same as the Eternity Devil. If she's able to maximize her weapon powers and turn the entire aging world into a weapon, then she should be able to escape. I mean, it's pretty clear that just based off of Yoru trying to end it all and go back to hell with the Gun Devil's power before, not only are these devil powers completely just snuffed out, unable to work, the fact that Denji returned to his normal form and is no longer Pochita also makes it pretty clear that whatever devil powers may be able to exist in the aging world, it is not whatever the powers that we have. Yoru just starts to berate the sleeping Denji and yell at him, blaming him for everything and that he always gets involved with these terrible and weird devils and just pulls people into the trouble with him. And Denji actually reveals to not be asleep at all. He's just silently been accepting the fate that he's been dealt because honestly, at this point, Denji feels like he deserves this. He feels like whatever punishment he gets, he deserves. In using his own words, he's an airheaded sex freak that doesn't understand social cues, and this is all literally his fault for dragging people constantly down to hell with him. And this self-loathing in Denji started very early on and began as this little climax arc started to happen, but now it's in full bloom. I mean, as far as he knows, Nayuta is dead. All of the dogs that he raised were killed in the fire. The Chainsaw Man Church has plunged basically all of Japan into chaos, and everything that happened in part one, no matter what Denji tries or how he tries to live his life, he's unable to live as what he deems as normal. But I hate to see Denji like this because, sure, as much as you could ascribe to him being a bad person or him bringing other people down with him, none of this is his fault. He's never had a chance to live a normal life. He's never had a chance to understand what it means to be a regular boy. I mean, sure, he's a broken soul, beyond broken. He has no idea or semblance of what a normal life is. So that's why you see him constantly think about these things like they're normal. He tries to justify the essay that Yoru just gave to him by saying, oh, everyone gets hand jobs. I wonder if everyone around me has gotten jacked off, unwillingly before. It's probably normal. Any bad thing that happens to Denji just assumes is regular everyday life, and this just is not the case. He chases sex, he chases women, and he chases all of these very immature things because not only is he a teenager going through puberty, which is what most people are chasing in that age range that he's in, he doesn't have any of the boundaries or barriers of real life, of real society to hold him back when he goes off the rails. Denji is a child that has never had any kind of parental supervision or any role model figure to base his life off of. The only people that were above him that he grew up with were the Yakuza that were literally exploiting him for money, that would make him eat cigarettes for $1. Seeing Denji cry because he feels like all of this terribleness and chaos is his own fault and he always makes things happen this way, as opposed to blaming the insane cosmic forces and entities that always pull the strings on his life, Makima, public safety. He has never been free to be himself at any point in his life. No matter who tries to tell him that he's free, no one has ever let him be free. So in my eyes, no matter what bad things Denji has actually done or you want to hold him accountable for, I would look at this as a therapist would look at a really, deprived child. This isn't Denji's fault. He never had a chance to begin with. And even though Asa, the closest person to Denji at this point, didn't have as crazy of a child life. Sure, she was raised without parents, at least later in life after her mom died from the devil attack. We know that she was basically raised on her own and she's a social outcast herself. So while she can't specifically relate to Denji's struggle, she can sympathize, especially Yoru, who after watching Denji cry and just keep telling Asa that he's sorry for dragging her into this, she cannot help her feelings. She can't help herself from wanting to comfort Denji. She actually ends up kissing Denji, she out of her sheer love for him that she can't deny. Yoru holds all of Asa's most inner feelings, and try as Asa might to shove them down and not admit that she likes Denji or has any feelings towards Denji, Yoru is the one that's confident enough to act on these feelings, whether she even realizes it or not. Which has me hold out hope that whether Yoru is the one that finally leaves Asa and Denji alone, or Asa is able to conquer Yoru and become the dominant personality, it gives me hope that Asa will be the woman that Denji needs, the woman that's able to, I hate to act like this very, crazy thing of like women need to, make men better and women shouldn't be responsible for men's trauma. But as sad as it is to say, Denji needs someone to help him. Denji needs someone to keep him on the right path. Denji needs someone that just keeps his head on his shoulders. And honestly, it's a tragedy of today's world, but there are a lot of men that without that level of comfort, without that level of love in their lives, they just become terrible people. And honestly, again, it's not women's responsibility to help these men, but at the same time, I won't deny that having a woman in their life that is able to not only give them a reason to live, but give them a reason to continue fighting and give them a reason to stay on the good path as opposed to stray from it with all of these different distractions, like Denji mentions, all of, going out and getting laid, going out and doing this instead of protecting Nayuta. Denji needs a pillar in his life that keeps him grounded, and Asa might just be that person. And with being in a world where time does not flow, aging does not happen, you can't get hungry, you can't get thirsty, this could potentially give these characters all of the time in the world they need to grow a genuine relationship, whether that be platonic or not. It is genuinely important for Denji to have someone that is not just taking advantage of him or using him for altruistic means. Sure, Nayuta was the closest thing Denji had to a real relationship, but even then, Nayuta was a devil. Nayuta would never give Denji that normal human connection that he needs to become a better human being, and I think Asa might just be that person. And again, we have got all the time in the world to focus on building that relationship. So they might as well. They really don't have much else of a choice besides talking with the other insane guy. So I think these two might have to stick together no matter what. But let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you guys think. I know we got a little bit philosophical. And again, I want to make it very clear that I completely understand that a broken man like Denji doesn't deserve a woman by his side. But I'm also willing to admit that having Asa by his side as someone that can support him in his worst times would definitely help Denji be a better man. And that's what I'll leave on, guys. Let me know your thoughts here. I would love to hear what the different perspectives are on this. Hit me with a like button if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss any future Chainsaw Man videos or reviews. I cover this series weekly as well as many other series that you may read weekly or monthly. Check out the main channel if you want to see some more polished video essay type content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.